Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Right. Glenn, can you just say something quickly? Hi, Glenn.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, Glenn. Obviously, on the eve of the Premier League finals, you have maintained since you come across the PDC, you've been the underdog. You've finished top of the league. Are you still underdog before you go into the finals night?
According to the bookies, I am, and I guess on the back of a first round defeat to Chizzy last week, you can understand that. I'm probably the only one, I think, who hasn't won a PDC major out the three as well. So it's understandable that I'm probably the outsider of the four, but I'm here to win it, and I feel really good. And even though I got beat first round last week, I've had a great opportunity to go home and just put a few things right on the dartboard. Why I came out with them pair flights last week, it was a major disappointment, a major mistake. So I've had a good week at home and feeling good.
How much would winning the Premier League be to you? We've spoken. You've won 3 world titles. You've done everything there's to be done, really, as far as the BDO is concerned. But you've already said about winning the league was massive, to be amongst the company of Phil and Michael, and then to win this finals night. How would that range in your trophy cabinet?
I mean, I think 18 months into my PDC career, I'm happy to say I've won 3 Lakeside titles now, not 3 world titles. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the biggest night of my darting life now. It would be tough always to beat that opening first Lakeside win against Danny Noppert. It was an unbelievable day and night, and it will take something really, really special to beat that. And a Premier League final at O2 in front of 20,000 people would obviously supersede that. It's different circumstances. It reminds me a little bit when I was in the semi-final match play a few weeks back. But this could be the biggest night of my career. And
do you fear anyone now? Do you go into this with thinking about the other person, or do you actually just go into it thinking of what you need to do?
No, I've worked a lot mentally this week, just to sort of really get back to basics and work on my throw, work on my throwing arm, and where I was about a month ago, where I don't know which game it was after, but I feared nobody, and it was during that period of playing I think it was maybe after Darryl Gurney, and where I said I feared nobody now, and I think I've played and beat them all. I can't think of any of the top players I haven't beaten since I've come here. So, my mentality is quite simple. Let's just have the 2 biggest games of my life now. And, to be a Premier League champion would be something pretty special.
Listen, thanks very much, Glenn. And we wish you all the best for tomorrow night. Thank you.
Glenn, looking at it, could last week's first round defeat actually been a blessing in disguise?
That's exactly what my daughter said. As disappointed as I was, I remember laying on my bed last week, probably an hour after the game, and Susan really didn't want to talk to me because, I wasn't I've just been thrashed, I've been walloped there. But she did mention that my daughter had said them exact words. And I watched your interview with Chizzy, which I'm hoping is the big difference, where he said, I knew Glenn was struggling because his whole body was moving as he threw a dart. So I don't think it's about the flights, the stems, the points, anything. I think it was technical. The issues I probably had last week. I was under pressure, and when you're under pressure, you suddenly do things with your throw. So of all the people who could have done something really good for me, it's Chizzy beating me in the first round last week.
Just on the flights, obviously, I know you said it was the biggest mistake you made. Peter Wright said to you that you shouldn't be using the kites. Did you listen to that advice too much, maybe?
Yeah, maybe something was in the back of my mind there. But I tell you, my mentality was for 20 years I've used a pair flight, and everyone's waxed lyrical about how good I am at my doubles when I was using the pair flights. It was a double off competition. I thought it was the right decision, but I just felt like I was using a totally different dart. And the biggest improvement of my kites has been my scoring. And when you're flying into big 5s and scoring 17. I walked off that stage with a real confidence crisis. But a week at home has been just what the doctor ordered.
After leading the Premier League table for so long and finishing it as champion, would it be a huge disappointment now not to go on and lift the title?
I was going to say no there, but yeah, it's going to be, because I'm very aware of what the situation is. This is this is a monumental night for me to be a Premier League champion. You know, it comes with so many other things as well. You know, the Grand Slam, Premier League next year, even, you know, World Series next year. So, but they're the kind of things that motivate me rather than put pressure on me. You know, they're the targets I've set myself. And honestly, Phil, opportunities like this don't come every day of the week. And I still go back to that story when I was in a place called the Stockton Buffs, watching, playing on a Thursday night, one leg, 4-0-1, thinking, what am I doing here? And look at them guys at the Premier League. Imagine one day I could play on there. And it was only 2-3 years ago, you know, and here I am, finals night. So for me, it's about grabbing that opportunity.
Glenn, pleasure as always, mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Phil.
Hi, Glenn. You've had a few close near misses in PDC major semi-finals recently. I mean, how determined are you to take that next step, and do you feel ready now?
I'm very determined. You know, some of the semi-finals I took as a real, I saw the positives out of them rather than the negatives, and I don't really want to lose tomorrow night in the semi-final. It's just, it opens so many doors if I can reach the final and ultimately win the Premier League, because that's what I'm here for. It's just a 4-horse race now. I understand I'm the outsider of the 4, and I quite like that, because I haven't been the outsider of a 4 field for, you know, the past decade. It's just, I'm really excited and can't wait for tomorrow night.
And just your thoughts on Gary Anderson as opponent, someone I know you have a lot of respect and admiration for.
Love the way he plays. The 4th best player to ever pick up a dart behind Phil Taylor, Michael Van Gerwen and Eric Bristow. I'm just hoping, you know, he doesn't bring his A game, because when he's flying, he's a joy to watch. And I remember so much his 2 world title wins back to back. It was he was very, very special, and love the way he plays. I like his attitude. He just gets on with it, old school. And I think he called me that recently as well. So it's a clash of 2 styles. I'm hoping sort of my extra couple of seconds at the hockey is going to be a big difference in the game as well. I'm up for the fight. You know, I don't want to come from 8-5 behind like I've had to rely on it, you know, a lot recently or sort of this year. I'd like to get out the traps and show the whole darting world what my game's all about.
And you've spoken about the technical aspects of your game you've been working on over the last week. Even at this stage of your career, are you still learning all the time?
Yeah, I've been pulling and snatching a little bit, just about balance, just where you're putting your feet, you know, just dipping under that treble 20 an awful lot. And a lot of that's down to stress. You know, it's easy when you're flying #1 in the BDO, when, you know, I can play my C game and win a title. It was quite easy last year when not a lot of pressure was on me, because, you know, who sort of knew me and whatever. But now, you know, people you know, the expectations higher. And I think with that is I've gone into like a default mode where as Chizzy put, my whole body is moving when I'm throwing a dart. So I've gone right back to basics and learned just how to. The only movement tomorrow night will be my arm.
Just finally, you know, 16 nights, it all comes down to this. Is that a little bit daunting?
No, not daunting. I'm ready. I think Jay, if I'd have played the night after I played Chizzy, and even the night after the Premier League, you know, after that run at the Milton Keynes, it would have been quite tough, because I wasn't, you know, I was beginning to feel I'd played 2 weeks running, and it's not daunting. I'm excited. This is, if you can't get up for these opportunities, then you don't deserve to be playing darts. I'm here and I'm ready, and I would love to do fantastically well.
Excellent, Glenn. Thanks very much.